Hi, it's John Cool with 10 houses to 10 bags. And basically, I just wanted to speak with you today about some of my journey and my growing spiritually, seeking peace, eating well, taking care of myself physically, as well as building wealth. So basically, with my journey of homelessness, I lived in a homeless shelter for a year. Then I lived in a transitional housing. It was an apartment. It was a one-bedroom apartment that I am very grateful for. And in that apartment, I was able to start to rebuild life, rebuild myself, because I had free counseling, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, as well as financially. And so a lot of times I thought of Peter, because I needed walk on water faith in order to do the things that I needed to do to rebuild, to stay in faith, to continue doing what the Lord would have me to do. And there were times I could imagine Peter. It's in Matthew chapter 14, where Peter walked on water. And I know that there were times where Peter probably felt like they were looking at him like he was insane for getting out of the boat, getting out of the place where everybody else happened to be. So in my case, there have been times where I felt like people were looking at me like I was insane because of the things that I was trying to accomplish, the things that I was trying to do, that I honestly believe God wanted me to do. So there's a lot of times where we feel like we have to just get out of the boat. We have to just walk on the water and focus on the Lord, because I found that when I took my focus off of the Lord, when I took my focus off of the things that I believe the Lord was telling me to do, I lost focus. I lost momentum in doing what others were doing what I believed others wanted me to do, because sometimes people want you to join in with them or stick with the status quo. Sometimes people don't want you to rock the boat, basically. They don't want to have to get out of the boat as well when you get out of the boat. So misery sometimes loves company. And so those are the things that I found. And then once I was out of the shelter situation, once I was out of the transitional housing, I had to be very mindful of who I spent time with, because if someone is not doing what you're doing, then you will either get pulled back if they're not willing to come forward with you or continue, as I was saying, getting out of the boat, walking in faith. Some people continue what they've been doing and they don't want to change. And so you have to be mindful of who you spend your time with in the seasons of changing, in the seasons of transitioning and growing. Some people don't want to grow, and or they're afraid to. Some are just simply afraid to, and they've gotten so used to living a certain way, so used to doing things a certain way, that it's hard for them to change. They don't want to change. And so some people relate to change a whole lot easier than others. And so you have to make decisions, because not everybody can go where you're going. And if you want to change your life, especially for those who struggled like I did with homelessness, it's like previously I'd stated that divorce was a downward spiral for me. And so with that being said, things just spiraled downward, and I did not pull myself up out of depression quick enough to rebound, to change life, to do the things that were necessary to rebuild my life. But I am grateful, because spiritually I grew greatly in the process of going through the homelessness. I learned a lot about what other people go through, because had it not been for my journey, I would not know, I wouldn't understand. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm able to be of use and help with others who have struggled like I have. And so that's my intention, is to do these videos and help in hopes of encouraging others and letting others know that you can get out of your situation. You can work your way out. Don't focus on the storms around you. Don't focus on the negativity. Focus on hearing God so that you can find a solution to the problems and the issues, to find a solution that is going to help you get out of your situation. But you have to take a step at a time, and there are times when you will have setbacks, but listen to God, or things that may look like a setback may be you being repositioned. And so, like for instance, the job that I have right now, I was a real estate broker for 30 years. I am working as an assistant in a commercial property for office rentals. And with that being said, I'm learning things that are a blessing. I'm still in the real estate industry. It's just in a different capacity. But I'm thankful. It's a peaceful job. I'm learning a lot. So I'm thankful for it. And I'm just waiting for God to show me what to do with the things that I'm learning. And so, and the people that I'm meeting, because there are assignments there for me. I pray for the people that are there. I listen to them. So just trust God in your journey. And even when it looks like a setback, ask God how he's going to use it. And many times he'll let you know, and you'll have peace there. And even if you don't understand what you're supposed to do or why you're there, if you have peace, know that it's God. And so those are some of the things that I've learned. And so I am asking God for solutions, even though, you know, my pay is very low. It's like originally when, you know, the 10 houses, the investment properties, the, you know, that were bought, that came from, you know, basically being creative and, you know, taking money from a credit card and seasoning that money, basically putting it in a bank account, saving, and, you know, squirreling away savings for down payments. And so that's how it began, you know, just getting creative with my finances. And so it was a blessing. And then from there, one property, then another property. And so I am asking for solutions in this new season and studying, learning, so that I can see what the new strategy, what the new solution happens to be to rebuild my wealth. And so God gives us the capability to create wealth. And so it's asking the Lord for solutions, asking the Lord for witty ideas and inventions, asking the Lord for divine connections. And so that's what I'm in the process of doing now. And I know that my books are the foundation. And so I'm in the process of finishing books. I am using YouTube, this channel, to create an audience, those who enjoy my content. And I'm hoping that you'll subscribe, that you will share, that you'll make comments, that you'll like the videos that you find helpful, so that I'm able to grow my audience, especially if you like my content. And I pray that my content is helpful for you. So I just wanted to share what I'm going through right now, what I'm doing. I have peace on all sides, grateful and thankful for that. I have a job with downtime where I'm able to write. And on my breaks, I take advantage of this time so that I can make videos. I go up on the roof and I do parking lot proverbs, little tidbits, little pearls of wisdom to share with you in hopes that it'll help you, that it'll encourage you, that it'll help you to keep going. I needed little short videos just to keep me going, just a simple word sometimes, or a few words, just to keep me going, because at certain jobs I didn't have much time. And so that's what I'm doing for others, because it's something that I wish I had. And so I'm trying to create that for you. Mondays were tough when I was at some of those jobs with toxic people. Some of those jobs were really, really tough. Mondays were super tough. There were times when I'd start crying on Sunday night, knowing that I had to go in on Monday, because that was what was keeping a roof over my head. Once you've been homeless, and in my case, unfortunately, it's happened more than once. It's happened a couple of times where I lost my place, including the foreclosure, because most people don't know, when you have a foreclosure, you also get an eviction. And so with all of that on my credit, it was tough to get an apartment. And then here in Texas, you have to wait a couple of years. Sometimes if you can't find a second chance apartment, it takes a few years before another apartment complex is willing to rent to you. So, and these are things I had no idea of as a landlord and as a real estate broker. I had no idea the struggle that people go through if they've had evictions in the past. Those with felonies, they can't get an apartment in many cases. They have to look for individual, houses to rent, or townhomes to rent. They have to look for an individual willing to rent to them. There's so much that I have learned through my journey that I never would have known had it not been for this walk through homelessness. And so it was a tough journey, but I'm very grateful and very thankful for everything that I'm learning, in hopes of being able to help others. Previously, when we had with my ex-husband, we had the 10 properties. And I like to rent to families, because there were families that could not afford to purchase a home. And so I would help them go through the process with them, teach them, those who were willing to learn. And there were a couple of them that did. And so I would help them to get a home after they had been in our properties. And so that was my intention, to help and help other families to get into a home sooner or quicker than they would have without my assistance. And so I am just trying to now, once I have properties again, help others, especially single moms like myself, those who are divorced and struggling with their kids. Because when you've lived in middle income, nice homes, it's really tough and it's really hard when you have to go into an apartment with your kids. That is so, so hard. And if I can help prevent someone else from having to endure, because you worry about your kids in an apartment complex, and it's so different than living in your own home and being in a very nice neighborhood. And so if I can help others, that's exactly what I'd like to do. And so, and as I walk through the process, as I get back on my feet, I'm going to share that with you, in hopes of sharing some of my knowledge that I have gained from being in real estate here in Texas for the past 30 years. So I am hoping to be of help. So I just wanted to share that. On Mondays, I do Miraculous Moving Mondays, to encourage you to keep going and to move forward on Mondays. I talk about miracles that have happened on Mondays. And so I just want to share with you various different things in hopes of helping you, encouraging you to move forward, to keep going. Because I found that when I got stuck, it was hard for me to get going. It's one thing if you have motion. If you slow down, it's one thing to take baby steps. It's a whole nother thing to get stuck in your tracks. And so I just want to help you to keep moving, to see that you're a miracle, to see that miracles are happening around you, to see the miracles and to realize that you can make it too. If I can make it, anybody can make it. And so that's my reason for sharing. And you have to have walk on water faith. You have to focus on the Lord. Don't focus on the storms around you. Focus on the Lord and keep moving. Keep moving forward. Keep, even when you are the only one willing to step out of the boat. Step out of the boat. Don't worry about what friends and family are doing. Do what you need to do. Do what the Lord has called you to do. I want to pray for you. Father God, I lift up everyone under the sound of my voice. I pray, Lord, that you would give them walk on water faith, that you would lead them and guide them to do everything that you have called them to do. In this new season, Lord, as things have changed, that they would have faith to keep going and to do everything that you've called them to do. I ask you, Lord, to strengthen your people and to give them witty ideas and inventions. I ask you, Lord, to remove the fear that keeps them stuck. I ask you, Lord, to bring divine connections to them, to bring finances to them, whatever it is they have need of, Lord. I ask that you would answer their prayers so that they can move forward for their sake, and especially those with children, for their children's sake. Lord, I just thank you for what you're doing and how you're doing it. I know that you have an amazing plan for your people. Lord, I know that you are going to bless them. I know, Lord, because you've done it for me. And so, Lord, I just thank you right now. I just praise you right now. And I just love you right now, Lord. And I thank you for what you're doing for your people. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray, Lord, seal this prayer with your blood and have them to move forward. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Have a great day.